welcome to episode 5 of Equilibrium. I'm Bria.
I'm Tim.
Do you like my British accent?
No.
Okay, well, I was trying something a little bit different this episode, but I guess I'll talk in my normal voice.
You probably should.
Does it sound like
offensive?
Who's that offending?
British people. You're mimicking.
Should I talk in a southern accent?
No, that's really offensive.
Okay, I don't even know how to do it.
Was that Australian?
Anyway, it's our anniversary episode. Happy anniversary!
Congratulations.
Tim, that's not what we say to each other.
I think it is.
Who says congratulations to us?
Congratulations on your anniversary.
That's what other people would say to us.
But like, I can say it to you too.
No, you can't. I'm in this.
Yeah.
You just say like, happy anniversary.
Why can't I say congratulations?
That's not how it works. Where's your card?
I don't have one. I don't have any news this week.
You can't just show up to the show without news.
I don't have any news.
You have obligations as a co-host.
I haven't even seen the news in the past month, except for depressing stuff, so I turned it off.
I don't want to talk about that. That's why I wanted to be a British person today, because
You don't want to be American anymore.
It's just a little rough right now.
You're revoking your citizenship.
Do you think the England will accept me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think anyone really wants Americans at this time.
I was gonna say that's basically where we're from, but no, it's not.
That's actually not where I'm from.
It's not.
Do you want to dive into that?
Nope, not really.
Anyway, I came prepared for my own show.
I did too.
You did it. You have nothing. Let's dive into that. A lot of TV news. So Dear White People return back to Netflix, season 3. So good this season.
Is it?
Yeah. I thought the characters are really developed well. Blair Underwood is on there. Have you ever seen a movie called Asunder?
No.
It's from the 80s. It's surprisingly really, really good. It's like a killer thriller film. Anyway, Dear White People's great. Watch it. Queen Sugar, I started watching that on it was on we're watching on Hulu. That doesn't even matter. Season 1, I finished it. Really great. Everyone had been telling me how I should watch it, and I was like, no, I'm good, but it's so good.
Great.
4 Weddings and a Funeral, which is a show by Mindy Kaling on Hulu. I'm on episode 3. Again, a British show.
You don't love British people. It's kind of weird.
Do you want to watch that one with me?
No, that's okay. I don't have time.
Okay, so on the CW, one of my favorites ended, Jane the Virgin. So sad. I loved how they wrapped up everything. There was a 100th episode. All the stories came together. It was beautiful, you know?
It was time to be wrapped up.
What do you mean?
Sure. You made me watch that one episode. It was awful.
Tim, you don't know the history.
It was so boring.
That's because you don't have
They're out on a farm, not even talking. It was so boring.
Okay, I didn't necessarily care for that episode specifically.
Yeah?
But
that one? Mm-hmm. It's a bad show.
The story's, it's not a bad show. It's a really great show.
Mm-hmm.
It was groundbreaking, the stuff that they did.
Yeah.
Anyway, that ended the 100, which is one of your favorites.
It's not one of my favorites.
It's another CW show. Tim binge watched it in 2 hours. You loved it.
I liked the first 3 seasons, and then it went to trash. I did not like it.
It went to trash.
It went to trash, whatever that means.
Whatever that means.
The first 3 seasons were good, and then they should have ended it.
They shouldn't have ended it.
They should have.
Anyway, they'll be ending it season 7. Season 6 just wrapped. We haven't watched the last episode of season 6 because Tim's trying to be cute.
It's pretty accurate, though. Earth just gets blown up because people are awful. That's where we're heading.
Hey man, this is not a climate change political show.
Am I being political? Interesting.
Speaking of endings, we saw Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, it was awful.
That was awful. They should have ended it after the 7th one, I think.
They're just money hungry.
Yeah.
They're just taking advantage of the name at this point. It's not even Fast and Furious with all these big stars. It was literally one of those summer movies that The Rock's always in that's super cheesy, has Kevin Hart making appearances for no reason, and it is literally the dumbest. His movies over the summer are always the dumbest movies you can ever see.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And Ryan Reynolds.
Take your time.
Ryan Reynolds? Oh my gosh.
We know who you're talking about. Anyway.
He was in it too. I just don't care about it anymore.
I'd be okay with him being in the actual movies just for a little bit of humor, but it was too everything was supposed to be funny, and it's like not a like that's not what Fast and Furious was founded on.
No, I don't like it.
And there's not even racing anymore. Like you're just like crashing through walls and stuff. Who cares?
It's bad.
Racing submarines.
So hopefully they won't end it. I know.
No, it's gonna go for like 4 or 5 more movies.
Oh, so bad. So we saw that, whatever. I really wanted to see The Kitchen with Melissa McCarthy and Tiffany Haddish and Elizabeth Moss. So that's like tier 2. I may see it if we have time. So I have so much TV news though. Like not TV news, but like people getting married and getting engaged and stuff. So Stassi Schroeder from Vanderpump Rules got engaged to Bo Clark. That's his last name. They got engaged. She has like a really pretty ring. But I'm like, what does Bo do to afford that? But I'm not counting coins. Then you had some breaking news.
Did I?
Yeah, about someone like splitting up.
Miley Cyrus again?
Yeah.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus is no longer with her husband, but like, is that surprising? Because she's been like saying all this weird stuff about marriage anyway. I stopped respecting her when she was like, "Oh, I am a whatever." Like,
that was the most descriptive
yeah,
news that you have ever shared.
Yeah,
Anyway, my side, what Tim is
she
trying
said
to
some weird
say.
stuff about her marriage, and I'm like, all right, I'm done with you.
What Tim is trying to say is that my side and Liam's Hemsworth are splitting up after just like 8 months of marriage, which is like not that surprising to me because they've like split up and like gotten back together so many times. But also my side was like, I feel like she was putting a lot of emphasis on the fact that I guess she like liked women or something, and she was like,
Thought we weren't being political.
That's not a political thing. Happens to Betsy. Anyway, I feel like if she was like, I'm sexually attracted to women, but I choose Liam as my partner or something like that.
It's weird.
And it's like, Tim, it's not weird. People, we're not going to go down this. Tim's going to say something offensive. Anyway, Brody Jenner and Caitlyn Jenner, like his wife, not his...
Is what? You don't even know.
It's really hard because on the hills. Anyway, they're getting they're splitting up, but it's like crazy because they got married at like a massive ceremony. Stop looking at me, Tim. And a really big ceremony. They didn't fill out the official paperwork, so they weren't actually legally bonded.
Really intelligent people.
That also happened with Tom Schwartz and Katie Maloney from Vanderpump Rules. So maybe it was like a Californian thing or like a celebrity thing where they don't actually file the papers. But Katie and Tom actually went and did it in Las Vegas. And then Caitlyn and Brody, the wife, are getting, like, they're not together anymore. So whatever. A lot of good shows.
What is so funny?
A lot of good shows are coming back. Like debuting. So Mixed Dish. We're gonna need some time. Mixed Dish comes back on August 25th.
Why didn't they call that grayish?
Tim, that's not a widely used term. I think
It should be.
It's derogatory.
No, it's not.
I think it is. Urban Dictionary.
If you're offended by that, you got a problem.
Urban Dictionary
That is
says it's offensive.
It's not offensive. Our child is gonna be gray.
Stop.
No.
Power, which Tim and I watched in like a week.
It
all
wasn't
5
even a week. It was like 4 days.
We're up to like 40 and we gotta get this in.
Are you okay?
That'll come back. Sorry, no. Mixed Dish comes back September 24th. Power is back August 25th. And we may watch it again before it comes back.
Yeah, probably.
Do you have time?
Probably not, but we'll work it in.
He's
somewhere.
trying to pretend like he's busy, doesn't do anything. That's all the news I have. You didn't bring any news to the table because I'm also looking for a new co-host.
You're rude.
Someone that...
Only news going on, like, it's a couple weeks away from college football season. It's going to be a great time. We're going to see Alabama Duke play
I will not.
at Mercedes-Benz Stadium as a family. Your family's coming down. We're all going to go. It's going to be a great time.
I'm not coming.
Your dad's a Bama fan. We got to go for him.
You guys can go.
And we all hate Duke. Like, I don't think there's a person in America that didn't go to Duke that doesn't hate Duke.
I don't think you can talk about America as a whole. We're pretty divided at this time.
That's true. That's true. But, you know. Just made it pretty awkward.
Did you watch the Democratic? This is not a political show. So that's all the news that we have today. Coming up is Sana Mckenzie. I interviewed her. She is a very successful and fabulous real estate broker here, and she's going to talk about how to grow her business and just like really good advice in terms of how to keep it going, but also travel on the side and have really great shoots at the same time.
And where she's from, that was interesting.
Yeah, where she's from is really cool. She's also, her mother is British. Well, we'll get into it, but I am also British.
You're not.
Yes, I am. I have a Mini Cooper.
That's like the only British thing about you. You don't even.
I like drinking.
You don't
tea.
even know what they eat in England.
They eat crumpets and drink tea.
What is a crumpet?
All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys on episode 6 is actually going to be with a health coach. I'm super excited about that. I'll like debut some stuff on social media if I can get around to it. All right, guys. See you next episode. Enjoy the interview. Thanks for tuning in.
See ya.
Hi guys, I'm Bria. Welcome to season 5 of Equilibrium. I'm here with Sana Mckenzie. How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you, darling?
Doing well. You're one of my favorites.
You're
always in
one
a
of my
great
favorites.
outfit. She's so stylish, always traveling. But today, obviously, I want to talk about how successful you are. Right?
You know, I'm very modest about these things.
She is. She doesn't like to talk about it. She didn't even want to be on the show because she's like, I don't want to talk about myself.
No.
But here you are, and I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a broker officially, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're officially a broker, but you also have a management company?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you get into this? Tell me your life story.
So I had an aunt back in New York who owned brownstones, right? She was into real estate.
Nice.
And I saw that as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And that piqued my interest, of course, as I grew older. I actually went to school for marketing and public relations.
Yes, she did.
So my dream was to be a news anchor on television.
All of us, right?
Right,
All of
exactly,
us.
right? And when I really thought about how long it would take me to get there, I would have to wait for Monica Kaufman to retire or whatever the case may be.
And Curry.
I said, you know what? Let me see if I can do something else. So as God would have it, I was actually taking a real estate course. And there was this young lady who was in class with me, who was very stylish and into business. And anyway, we were doing the wrong thing, skipping school one day.
Sana.
We were, I'm sorry, but you know me, I'm going to be totally real. We left school early, and we took the shuttle bus from Georgia State, and I started to ask her questions, and she shared with me that she was into real estate. So I said, okay, this sounds really fun. She had this fabulous life. I mean, she lived over by Centennial Olympic Park. She traveled when she wanted to. I mean, it was really cool.
Living the dream.
She was. She really was, way back then. And so I shadowed her for a little bit and met some people that were involved in the business, some additional people, and got involved in real estate. Now, I will tell you that at that time, there were some people that I shouldn't have been doing business with.
What do you mean by that?
Well, they just weren't doing things on the up and up. You know, when you get your license, you have to follow a code of ethics, especially with an office like where I am now. Everybody in our office has to be part of a board of realtors, which means that you're held to a higher level or a higher standard of ethics. So these people weren't that ethical. Long story short, the house that I bought, I did not have a realtor. We did an appraisal on the house. We did not do an inspection. So I bought the house without knowing what was going on with the house. And the house was literally falling down. Literally. There was no AC unit outside. The floors were sinking. I mean, it was...
You didn't...
Nobody told me.
Because
I didn't have a realtor.
Right.
How do you know? I was 22.
That can happen, yeah.
Yeah, I was 22 years old. I mean, I had no clue. So I really learned real estate the hard way. And there were some other little stumbling blocks along the way. I also had a shoe business where I sold shoes and fixed shoes. You know, I love my shoes.
Stop. Wait. So Sana's always in really great heels. When I first met you, you were like, do you have any heels? And I was like, okay.
That's right. We did talk about that. We did.
I immediately went out and bought some heels. So tell me about the shoe business. Where did this happen?
So I had a friend who I met who was into shoe repair. And he brought the idea to me, hey, why don't we do, you know, a shoe repair business and we can sell shoes as well? I was like, oh, okay, you know, as a business owner, you just do business, you know. And again, I was young. I was
Are you
22.
22? Okay.
I was 22 at the time. So at that time, I had shoe business. It was called Shoe Clinic. Loved it. It was fabulous. Where we fixed shoes, sold shoes.
Was that in Atlanta or was that New York?
That was downtown Atlanta.
Okay.
Actually, Midtown, off of Ponce and Juniper.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know where the JR Crickets is? I think it's now like a little smoke shop.
Yeah.
That's
where
used
the
to
shoe
be
clinic was.
That's where it was. Yeah.
Wow.
That's where it was. But again, you know, just dealing with the wrong people, you know, learning the hard way. So all that stuff that I had 4 houses, I had the business, lost everything. And the market crashed around this time.
Okay,
So
okay.
I bought in a seller's market, not a buyer's market. Again, not having the right people around. That's why you have to have a dream team to help you do, if you're going to do real estate or do investments or whatever, you have to. You have to. It'll cost too much.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I learned those lessons early.
That
Because
is
now
good.
I'm good. You know what I
Now
mean?
now you've got it together. Great shoe game.
You're so
Everything's
funny.
great.
You're so funny.
Everything's great. So you're originally from New York City.
Yeah.
So how did you get to Atlanta?
My mom.
Your mom. Okay.
I didn't want to come here.
And your grandma's British?
So no, my grandmother's from Guyana,
Okay.
right? So everybody on my grandmother's side, Guyanese, father's side, Barbados, right? My mother, my uncles, and my aunts were born in London, England, right? Which is fabulous. So we traveled there all the time. So when my mother had to be in her 20s, she used to sing with Bob Marley, right?
So no, what?
Yeah, she used to say, yeah. And then when I tell people that, they're like, what? Because Bob is Bob. I mean, we love Bob, right? And my mother plays it down. She's like, oh, no, whatever, no big deal. But anyway, long story short, he had left from Jamaica, right? There was some nonsense going on over there. Went to London, sang with my mother and my aunt, Auntie Candy. They did backup for him. And then the money that my mother made from that gig was what paid her way to come to New York. So that's how she got to New York.
Wow.
And I was born in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah,
cool?
it is. It's very cool. Yeah.
Do you still, does your mom still sing?
She
Your moms and
does.
aunts?
It's funny. My grandfather was the musician. He played trumpet, right?
Tim
Back in
always wants
London.
to learn how to play the trumpet.
Okay, well that's good
No,
to
the
know.
saxophone, never mind.
It's okay.
Same thing.
It's okay.
Similar.
You're so funny. Same thing. So he used to play in clubs in London, and my mother's the only one that's really carried on the musical, you know, thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, she writes music. Like she writes lyrics to songs.
I think that is one of the hardest things to do. I can't do poetry.
It is.
I can't.
Exactly.
I can't do any of that stuff.
I can't either. It's a real gift. You know, when she'll hear somebody's story, and the next thing you know, she'll go, oh, I have an idea for a song. Right, and she'll just write it out. And I'm like, wow, how does she create that? I mean, she's so talented.
She's in New York now.
No, she's here.
Oh, she's here.
Yeah, my mother and I are like this.
That's good that you
That's
guys are
my
in the same
buddy.
place.
You already know.
That's so good.
That's my boo.
So, talk to me a little bit about your management company. So you manage properties and stuff.
Yes, so we also do that as well. So that's a separate arm.
Oh, separate. Okay.
So we handle buyer and seller, like working with buyers and sellers under the Keller Williams Buckhead umbrella. And then for all of the management stuff, that's under what we call CMG Asset Management.
Okay.
Right? So that's the property management arm. The reason why it's separate is because there's a lot of liability that
can
goes,
see that.
oh my God,
Yeah.
that goes on with property management. I mean, and it's a difficult business. It's not easy whatsoever. You know what I mean? But somebody like me, I love people.
That's true.
When people ask me, they say, well, what do you do? I say, I'm in real estate, but I say it's people first, real estate second, right? Because this is about you guys, not about me.
Yeah,
I'm going to do what I do. I want to make sure that y'all are happy. And there was a gentleman that used to be in this office years ago, and he said, Sonia, you know what, you'd be perfect for property management. Because you love people and you have the temperament for it.
You two are very calm,
No
easy
drama.
to talk to. We did talk about that. You
No
can't have
drama.
drama.
I can.
You can't do it. It gets
No. No.
so stressed.
It does.
can't do it.
Yeah.
But back to you. All right, Sana, so you are obviously a very successful woman with, okay, you don't like to, but you have a very fabulous lifestyle and you love to travel.
I do.
So give me your top 5 places that you've gone recently that you loved.
Top 5 that I love. Oh, wow. Well, I love Europe. I was actually in Milan earlier this year. That was really, really.
How was that?
It was,
That's also a big fashion capital, right?
It is. And when we were there, it was sale time. So always remember, if you go to Europe, summertime, like June, and January, like right after the holidays.
Okay.
That's the sales all day long.
Okay.
They're trying to get rid of everything, which is wonderful.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
So that's when we went, and it was beautiful.
Mhm.
It was really nice. I'll actually be back soon. I'll be at Lake Como this time around.
Okay.
'Cause
Have you been there before?
We drove through. So what happened was I went to London, of course, and
Mhm.
from London to Switzerland,
Mhm.
and then from Switzerland we drove
Mhm.
through the Alps, and it was stunning. I mean, seriously, it was absolutely. I was just like, oh my God, this is real. Like, you know, you just sit there and ask yourself, I can't believe God really created this. You know. But when you're driving through, we stopped at a place called Lugano, which is a cute little quaint town on the border of Switzerland and Italy. So they speak Italian, but it's still in Switzerland. Beautiful.
Do you speak Italian? Do you speak any languages?
I wish I did. I have to learn German.
Okay.
I'm gonna learn some German reluctantly
Why reluctantly?
because it's a hard language. You know, when you hear Spanish and you hear
Yeah.
French, it's so sexy sounding. German is. I've got a lot of stuff going on that way, so
Do you?
yeah. So I'm gonna have to bite the bullet, and I've got to learn. Okay, so that's another conversation of the day. But Lake Lugano, Lake Como, because they're right there, and then you get to Milan. So that was nice. We did Costa Rica
How's that?
a few years ago. That was beautiful. That was another one of those. I cannot believe this place is this gorgeous. We went to a resort called Tabacon, which I highly recommend you go to.
Tabacon.
And what it is, they have the Arenal volcano, which sits like right there, and you can see the volcano and you see the steam like coming out of it. And then you're in this resort, and it looks like, remember Jurassic Park, and how it was all green and lush? That's what it looks
Exactly
like.
that.
But you have like all these springs in the resort, and
So
it's
relaxing.
hot water. Natural hot water comes from that volcano and just flows right into the
And you can get in
resort.
springs, can't you? Some of them.
It's
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Did you get in them?
What? You already know. I could pull pictures. You already know.
So
I can't wait to
relaxing,
go back.
right?
It was amazing.
Ah,
Cannot believe, again, God created that. Like, what? Beautiful.
I gotta get out the house.
Beautiful. Costa Rica was gorgeous. You know what else was nice, funny enough? Cancun.
Cancun. I always hear about that as being like where you go for spring break.
Yeah, we didn't go for spring break. I'm not one of those kind of people. We stayed at the Ritz-Carlton, so
Okay.
you already know it was fabulous. But the best part about Cancun, we went to a place called Chichen Itza.
Chichen Itza.
Dude, I can't remember the name of this movie. I know Mel Gibson produced it. It was about this, they have like these pyramids there that the people there used to like worship gods from these pyramids. And yeah, I mean, I'd have to look up the names of it and all that. But I mean, it was stunning. Again, I cannot believe this is here.
Gosh, there's like a few places where I'm like, I absolutely have to see these places in like the next 5 years. And I'm obsessed with the pyramids, like the ones in Egypt.
Gotta go.
I want to go to that. Have you been there before?
No, that's definitely on
Okay.
my bucket list. Somebody told me, like, you know, you have these psychics and stuff. She's like, I feel like you lived there. You were.
Do you talk to psychics?
Years
somewhere?
ago. Sometimes I have in my past. I have friends that they don't call themselves psychics. They're more empath, I believe, which is almost like not that they can see the future, but they can like read people. Like I can give her somebody's name, and she'll be able to just tell you all this stuff. Like, I mean, my girl is
Really?
on it.
I am so fascinated by those people, but they're so scary to me.
Exactly.
Like I want to talk to them, but then I'm like, do I want to talk to you?
Right. What do I really want to know?
Do I want to know? You know?
Right.
Sana, we're not off subject. Like we can do this. It's fine.
Of course.
But I just want to say I'm so proud of you, and I want to, I wanted you to be on the show to talk more about it. Do you have any advice for someone that's kind of just getting started in real estate or kind of wants to live like you're living?
So I'm one of the teachers here at the
Are
office.
you?
I am. We have a program here called Ignite,
Mm-hmm.
which is for new agents. It's almost like igniting your career in real estate. It can count towards what we call your post-license credits, like CE, continuing education credits. And when I'm teaching them, I always tell them, I said, listen, if you don't love real estate in your heart, I need you to pack your stuff,
Go.
and I need you to go home. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because this business is going to whoop your tail.
And you can tell when someone's not passionate about it or doesn't really care to help you, because that was exactly how our real estate agent, I've told you about this before, but you can definitely tell when someone is actually in it to help you and not just in it to like make money essentially,
Because there's tons of money in this business just floating around. We're sitting in real estate as we speak, you know? But you have to have your client's best interest at heart. It's so important because it's so much money. You know, it's one of the biggest purchases someone will make in their lifetime. You know, the house, the car, you know, those are big things. You know, you have people that put down hundreds of thousands of dollars down. Just the down payment that they've saved or inherited or came from a 401k or, you know, and you work for this money for years, and then to deal with someone who doesn't care, it's like, you know, so you have to love it. That's my advice. You have to love it, because I'm telling you it's going to whoop your tail.
It will.
You can put your all into that transaction that, you know, you guys were doing, and then, I don't know, the appraisal doesn't come back at value. Then what? And then the seller says, oh, you know, we're not reducing the price. Then guess what? The deal is dead. You got to start from scratch. So you were counting on that check, if that's what it was about for you, and you get nothing. That's why.
I like it.
I'm telling you.
I like it,
It's
Sana.
serious business.
Sana, stay fabulous.
So sweet. You stay fabulous.
I'll try, you know.
So sweet.
I'm just
You have to
learning from
try
you.
hard.
Every day I'm going to get a good pair of heels. I'm in my raggedy sandals today. But that's okay. I'm going to go to DSW, or where do you get your shoes from? Do you like...
Everywhere.
They're so... If you guys could see them.
You know what's so funny about shoes though these days? I can't seem to find what I want. Like, the thing about shoes, advice, when you see them, buy them right away. Seriously, because you've never seen
You're
them
not going
again.
to see them. And you're going to think about them constantly.
I still have shoes that I saw at Dillard's on 17th Street. I'm like, darn it, I should have gotten them.
Get them.
Gone. That was 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. Gone. So whatever you see, please buy it right away.
That's the advice. That's the main takeaway from today's
You're
episode.
so funny. You know what? The main takeaway is live your life.
Live your life.
And be stress-free. No
Be
drama.
stress-free. Be yourself. That's a big one too.
Yeah. Be yourself.
Be yourself. Be who
Yeah.
you are. Well, guys, thank you, Sana.
Thank you.
We'll have to have you back.
Whenever
This
you're
is so
ready.
fun.
Whenever you're ready.
We'll see you guys next episode for episode 6. It's wild.